Hello and welcome. My name is Kaleb Delgado, and I'm a JD and legal tech enthusiast. And I just wanted to first tell a little bit about myself. So, I graduated law school in Texas, and I worked with immigration firms a little bit before coming here to Brooklyn. But I know I certainly don't have as much experience as my guest here today, Mr. Nareshim Gehi. Hi, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. It's a pleasure being with you on the show.
It is a pleasure. Pleasure's all mine. Hello, Mr. Gehi. So, let's start from the beginning. What inspired you to create this software?
So, Caleb, that's a very important question. The reason I was inspired by creating the software is because when I started my practice, I had a lot of day to day issues that I was facing every day. So, there were softwares out in the market there, but it was not like something that had a 360-degree. So, the problem was that some of these softwares they had glitches, which means I had a problem navigating. It was very difficult for me to learn the software. There was no training available. They did not have enough reports. They did not have enough ethical pointers, which means that I can miss a deadline. They only had this one little thing that would say, okay, this is how you track your deadlines. I said, no, this is not acceptable. So after that, Caleb, what happened, I also went to my paralegals and they would say, Mr. Gehi, this can be improved. So this is you're looking at around nearly 15 years ago. I said, why don't I do something? First, try it out on my own and to see whether it works. Or being someone who's been doing immigration for a long time, I said, besides benefiting my firm, this is going to help everybody. So a few people sat together with me on the table and we put in all the problems that immigration lawyers are having on a day-to-day basis and how immigration technology can be taken to the next level. So we called it as a project and it was known as the next level of immigration case management.
Okay. Yeah, that certainly sounds very exciting. I know whenever you were first starting out, what was kind of the feedback that you got from this technology? You say that it hasn't really existed anywhere else before. So, what challenges was it starting something from the ground up?
There were a lot of challenges. Number one was that we wanted to create something which is not in the market. We wanted to take our time because my practice was doing well. And from the time I started developing my technology, I actually did see the results.
Okay.
But what I also did, I had a different kind of people working with me. So some of them were not very good in technology, my paralegals. Some of them were very good in technology, and some of them were in between. So I said, the only way for me to make sure that it's a win-win for everyone is to come up with something that even if someone is not tech savvy, who just knows how to navigate the computer, should be able to kind of use this immigration case management software.
Of course.
So I said, let's dumb it down. When I seen softwares in the market, they were very complicated. The screens were at the back. It was just full of distortions. I said, why don't we do this? We come up with something of our own, which means as the founder. And basically the people who supported this venture, I'm just a founder, I'm not the main person behind in this. They said, Mr. Gehi, why don't you use your technology background? Because I have, 3 serious backgrounds, which means my studies include computer science, of course, law and media studies. So I said, I'm going to combine my background, of what I've learned in technology from the back end, from the front end, and come up with something that's very special, unique, and extraordinary. Now, then we sat with these people and we told them, what do you think is difficult? Some of them said, I'm scared of technology. The other person said, I'm very good in technology, but I'm not seeing these features. And the third person said, it's good for me, but I would prefer something wherein the software tells me what to do. So then we had a team of lawyers working with me, a team of paralegals, and a team of receptionists working with me from the domain side. Then I had programmers working. Then I had UI UX people. UI UX people are the people who understand the front end. Then I sat with them on a one-to-one. And then after that, my paralegals and my lawyer said, Mr. Gehi, the software can still become better. I said, why? They said, well, because when I'm going to court, I would prefer that I get notifications in the morning. That's a fine example. Okay, you're getting a notification. Then the next thing is, Mr. Gehi, I'm the attorney on the case. I think this can be better. So what do you need? Well, how about if the client gets a notification too? So they're protecting the legal ethics. So we came up with ideas. There were more than 200 professionals. Let me repeat, 200 professionals, which included lawyers, paralegals, receptionists, giving us day-to-day advice of how this immigration software can be very different from what is in the market. Of course, no criticism to other softwares. But the other thing is that what I noticed is that there are immigration softwares out there in the market. But is the lawyer really getting any business from them? No. You're paying a licensing fee. Example, you have this particular software that you're using. You're paying $100 per user per month. Well, they're selling you not the premium version, but the regular version. But the cheap version, of course, nobody buys. So now, an average law firm is spending around $10,000 in a year only for using a software, for the licensing fee. I said, you know what? The think tank the credit doesn't go to me. The think tank said, how about this? We create a 3-in-1 portal. So there was this one genius in the team who said, we can do it. I said, how's that possible? He said, but well, we need a lot of people in the company. And thanks to the main people in the company, it was a very expensive venture actually. And they said that we can make this happen. And then through that, he said, what is the 3-in-1 portal? So they said that lawyers, what are they looking for? Publicity. How much does publicity cost? Social media publicity. People are paying $2,500 a month with zero results. Because not many people know social media. In my case, I can talk to you for hours about the back end of a software, the front end of a software, what is user experience, what is user interface, and how SEO works, and how digital works. So lawyers were paying money for nothing. So we came up with a solution that, the think tank, to make sure that they get video publicity. But that's rocking right now, as you know. And then they came up with this idea that give them publicity, and if they have the profile on the website, people will look at them, and we have leads coming in, and I would call them, rather than leads, I would call them people having immigration questions coming in over there. And guess what? In a short span of time, we have 120 lawyers who are on our network. They're getting brand publicity, they're getting social media publicity, and above all, they're getting the software to use for free. So the software is free for 2 users. So what happens? You're getting a software, you're getting social media publicity, and you're getting 120 leads a year, because it's 10 leads a month. I would say client inquiries. And even if they convert, which people have started converting, it's, the proof is in the pudding, as they rightly say. Lawyers are very happy, they're doing the consults, and they're getting clients. And that's how I succeeded in my practice, and we were able to grow it exponentially. So we said, why don't we replicate this mantra and let lawyers make money? And there's enough work for lawyers here, Kaleb. Do you know why?
Why?
All right. You'll be shocked. We conducted a survey, the think tank. They said, why don't we come up with something wherein lawyers benefit? So on immigrationquestion.com, which is a case management software, all the people are licensed attorneys. So the business goes to lawyers. A lot of this business was going to paralegals, not from us, all these notorious who are taking away business from attorneys. So we said, the think tank said, we are only going to have licensed attorneys on immigrationquestion.com. We've been inundated from people who are paralegals, we want to join. Answers, get out from here. We don't want you there. Because, these are not law office paralegals. These are people who are kind of giving the profession a bad name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not meant for them. This was serious business. And also, access to justice was very important for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're dealing with a common man who has an immigration question, the name is immigrationquestion.com, as you know. So he can go on the site, and our wonderful lawyers who are part of the network, they can help them.
Mm-hmm.
And you control the fee as an attorney. You have all the data at your disposal. You're getting your own social media publicity. You're working with a customized rep. And now whether you make rain or no, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a good attorney, you know how to talk to clients and people who are inquiring with you and grow your business. And it is a win-win for every attorney. Now let's go back and look at other softwares. What are they offering you? Zero client inquiries,
Mm-hmm.
no social media publicity. End of the day, what are you doing every year? You're paying around 10 to 15,000 with nothing to you. And the softwares, I don't want to name some softwares. People have become complacent in the use of technology.
Mm-hmm.
And they think moving from one software to another is difficult. It's not. But you have to be the attorney who is to tell them, thank you so much, goodbye, I'm moving on. That's their call. And the great news is, Kaleb, we are not chasing people to, this company is not chasing people to come and join. People are moving on their own. Because another good news which I've seen, some of the lawyers who have come for these webinars,
Mm-hmm.
because Immigration Question has webinars, Immigration Question has a directory page,
Mm-hmm.
and actually the think tank, the team behind, looks at the credentials of the lawyers, that they should be in good standing with the bar, because we are here to serve people.
Of course.
That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here to make sure that attorneys at law
Mhm.
get the business. And it's a 3-in-1 platform. Now, people don't understand how this works. It's real simple. You download immigrationquestion.com,
Mhm.
the software. After that, what happens? Client inquiries come to you. You have a personalized rep who will help you to schedule the appointment. Your paralegal will be trained. And from there, you create your case. But above all, the other good news is that you can also use it for your clients too. And the data is at your disposal. You are the boss of the data. We have nothing to do with you. It's a secure platform. And the great news is it was also approved by the Better Business Bureau, immigrationquestion.com, after rigorous kind of testing.
Oh, that's great. Now, I know, is there any sort of features that attorneys can expect, like VoIP integration or maybe like Lexis, Westlaw?
Yes. So you have phone integrations,
Mhm.
and that is amazing. And Kaleb, this is very different than other softwares. We call it as the life cycle of immigration case management, which no one has done.
Mhm.
So with that, we call it the front desk feature. That is also there. And of course, the visual, people can see it with you. You can show them the visuals because that's what you're good at.
Mhm.
And Kaleb, you're a law graduate, you're brilliant, and you're very interested in law versus technology. That's why we are here today.
Yes.
So the front desk feature, for example, right now when a client comes to you, then you're starting the case. That's not the starting point of the case.
Mhm.
The starting point of the case is right from the time when you get a call, the data should be with you
Mhm.
so that you can grow your business. So they have this fantastic front desk portal with the data syncs in. Then from that, the case gets started, and it helps you to kind of make sure that you don't lose clients and you service your clients until the last day you get a decision from the court. From the court, it can be from the Board of Immigration Appeals or can be from the federal court.
Mhm.
So all those things happened because we used Gehi and Associates as the guinea pig. And there were experts, there were lawyers, there were programmers, they were sitting and saying, why don't we come up with something that lawyers love? To give you some simple examples, being a senior attorney, I said, well, where is our master calendar hearing? All right. What is the call-up date? We have things like call-up dates, master calendar hearings. Then plus you have a live rep who is actually, someone with the law background helping you if you have a problem with the software. He's immediately available for you. Then you have QuickBooks integrated, same thing that you said. Then we have QuickBooks. Then we have a lot of other integrations over here. Then you also have PDF integrations which are there, so that and even you have the I would say payment portals that have been integrated into this, where exactly you can accept a payment through card knocks, and you have anything that you could think about. It's there, and I think what people need to do actually set. And they also have DocuSign too. I shouldn't forget that.
Of course.
DocuSign, which is very important. People should sit and explore that this is something that is beyond imagination. And I'm not trying to brag, but there's a saying that one thing is we don't force people to jump, but if they are comfortable, then they should see. Because for me, when I founded this particular software, immigrationquestion.com was a science. It was not a software. A science means you deep dive. You look at the day-to-day problems. You want to make sure that the ethics of the attorney is very important. I mean, we don't want lawyers to get a Lozada complaint. So that's ineffective assistance of counsel. Of course, that is right now being I'm happy to thank all these great veterans who are fighting against Lozada, especially, my highest regards to, I would say, I have great respect for the Honorable Paul Smith, whom I look upon very highly, retired immigration judge, the chairman of the Board of Immigration Appeals, and Rekha Sharma Crawford, who's doing a brilliant job in the profession. But end of the day, ineffective assistance of counsel is something we all need to work on from an ethical standpoint. So we created all those pointers, notifications, alerts, everything that you could think about, so the lawyer does not, get into trouble. And if you have a slick client who's trying to blame you, you'll be able to even pinpoint that you called me at this time and so hour, so please do not blame me for your mistakes. We have been able to help lawyers to come out from problems at times wherein clients have been basically upset with them because they felt that the lawyer did not do the job. This is the beauty of immigrationquestion.com, the 3-in-1 case management software. 3-in-1 because you're getting the case management software, you're getting the case management software, you're getting social media publicity, plus you're getting client inquiries, 10 inquiries a month, 120 inquiries. Convert 12 or 15 of them in a year. You're making a huge profit. 900 or 1,000% profit. Can you imagine you're spending $8,000 or $10,000 a year if you're a solo, and you're making 80,000, 90,000, and people are doing it. So
is that what you've noticed too, that people are just wasting their money? But
of course they are wasting their money, because why would you pay for a software monthly fee when you're not getting anything in return? You tell me one good reason. So tomorrow, if you're starting off your practice, all right? Of course, one thing we tell lawyers, take those client inquiries very seriously. If you're not available, have your paralegal talk to them and set up an appointment. It's not that hard. But you cannot expect all those inquiries to turn into clients, because that is like asking for the moon. But even if you get a few of them, you're good to go for the entire month. And if you're good at it, go for the entire year. And be active on the immigrationquestion.com platform. Go and chat on the forum when you're free. Download the app. Help people out. That's how we make rain in our firm. We are active everywhere. So we gave them one portal that also has one other important component.
What is that?
Staffing. Oh. How did Gehi and Associates grow?
How?
I was sitting during COVID, and this is a problem that every lawyer has. And with my very high respect to all the attorneys who will be watching this, is that I prefer having a low key. I'm not selling this, so please don't think this as a sales pitch, but you should make your own independent judgment to look at the features. You need to see whether you benefit, then only go for it. Please do not jump into it.
Mhm.
I believe in a very conservative approach because my respect comes first, then comes everything else in my life. Because by God's grace, I'm very well off in my life. And Caleb, I have close to 200 people working for me
That's impressive.
because of this software. And that's why I said, why not? And the reason I seen most lawyers are not getting business, do you know? A substantial amount of our business is going to these paralegals. Like people who have set up these notario shops, servicing people. So this is going to become the platform of the day for lawyers and for the public. What does the public want? Genuine people. And one thing which we do before someone signs up, we look at whether he's actually an attorney at law. Foreign lawyers have said we want to join. We said no. Foreign attorneys wanted to join immigrationquestion.com. We said no for the time being. No. If they don't have knowledge, it's a disservice to immigrants in our nation, which we don't want here. So that's why we have a lot of great seasoned lawyers who are a part of this network, and they love it. But one thing I must stress, they need to use the case management software. Just by having these inquiries, just by having social media publicity, you're doing a disservice as an attorney. If you are busy, ask your paralegal because you have a live rep training you. And once, if you start using the software, you're going to fall in love with it.
Of course. Now, you mentioned that there is some training available. How exactly does that work for any of the staff?
So the thing is that the company has law graduates training you. And these are experts, and they will even text you in the portal. They will call you, and they'll even be in touch with you, like doing a live chat. And these are not robots. These are not AI. These are humans. Now, we'll also talk about how AI should be used in immigration law and how AI should be used in immigration technology, the future of AI. And I'll be talking to you a little bit about what is basically neuro AI and what is generative AI. So those are the things which not many lawyers know. We'll have enough discussions on that, how AI was also integrated. But I'm not a big fan of AI fully. We need to play the middle ground with AI, because if you go 100% AI without a proper thought process, you may encounter a problem from the court. You may be risking your license. So don't go crazy with people who are just talking to you AI. Artificial intelligence. Be very careful, because I'm very conservative when I use AI in immigration, because without a human agent, Kaleb, AI can never work. And, for me, computer science comes to me naturally. So when people talk about IT and about AI, legal technology, sometimes I listen to these people, I have a smile, because they don't know what they're talking about. Because there's a saying, the proof is in the pudding. We use it here. Then we test how much AI should actually be integrated, because we look upon AI as a science over here. We will not give you AI if we feel that you are sacrificing your license.
Of course. Now, you mentioned AI, so how do you think that other law firms are doing it incorrectly, and how does immigrationquestion.com do it the right way?
All right. First thing is that I'm not a big fan of all these platforms that you see online. You're just going to do your Google research, for example. And do you know what are hallucinations?
Yes.
All right. So a lot of hallucinations come up over there. And the thing is, the case law is not correct. And you may cite it to the BIA. You may bring up something before the immigration judge. You will be sanctioned. So we made sure that we are very careful about it. So we are going slow on it, steady. We are studying every component of AI. But that's why I tell people, in this software, you can even integrate companies that I trust a lot in terms of legal research. Go with the big people. But the big companies don't have a good case management software.
course.
This is the case management software. I would use Lexis with this, which can be easily integrated by means of a link over here, or Westlaw with it, and you're all good to go. So what you did, tomorrow if you jump into a problem, end of the day you can let the judge know these are reliable authorities, at least you're protected. So we are very conservative when it comes to artificial intelligence, because of course generative AI is going to go a long way, neuro AI is going to go a long way, but a few things can be AI'd, which we are doing is like the basic stuff, like the client intake sheet, and getting the data from the client. But again, what we did, we are trying to have a human agent verify again the stoppers. The stoppers are very important in AI, and nobody seems to be talking about the stoppers. And our research is way ahead of the game. We are not thinking about AI, but we are looking at the human agent. We're looking at where can AI go wrong.
Of course. Now, along with AI comes thoughts about the future. Where do you think that if this technology is going to be integrated in the law firm, where the legal field will be in the future? Where is it headed?
All right. First thing is that everything I think is going to be, a lot of it is going to be voice to text. That still has a long way to go. And the computer will type, for example, it's like Siri. And that will be kind of taken to the next level in law. And after that, and all the documents will be mainly dictated by lawyers, and you'll be able to talk to the computer. And basically, that's what is the technology that we'll be working on. So you'll be able to see your templates, and you'll also get warning signs whether it's a good template or no. And besides that, you'll be able to video conference with the court, which you are already, but it's going to be much faster. And after that, cases will be moving faster in the future, because judges are going to get everything on their desks. And after that, from the court's perspective, they'll be working on courtroom technology, because I consult about technology, as you know. So I consult not only in immigration, I can consult about any technology in the legal world. Anything you tell me, I can give you answers to that. So then from the court's perspective, they'll be having that this is the brief, and there'll be pointers for the judge. This is the future of technology, to see, I think he's meeting the criteria, and there'll be kind of buttons that'll tell him, this looks like a good case for me to grant, this doesn't, but still the human judge will be there. So this is where the human comes in, but it's going to make life easy, but it's not going to be without a human being.
Of course.
That is the future. But the judge will be able to rest. He'll be able to have that sigh of relief. It'll be good for the lawyer too. And the good thing for the lawyer, when we are developing technology, we may be putting in pointers whether this law looks good or no. So basically, it's good. It's a win-win for the court legally, and it should be win-win for the lawyer legally, with the highest ethical standards being followed in the profession.
Of course.
And that is the future of technology here. So a lot of it is going to be voice to text, a lot of video conferencing, of course, electronic filing. But the key is ethics now. Before filing, I'm going to repeat this. Before filing, are we going to be able to check everything up? How many filters are going to be there? Filters, or how many checks are going to be there from the lawyer? That is what immigrationquestion.com works on. The high level of technology for immigration attorneys. And the other thing is that, how did we succeed to get to nearly 200 people here? Kaleb, we have lawyers working in foreign countries. Now let's talk about why immigration firms do not grow. Let's be practical. And sometimes we don't want to talk about things because we are scared about it. We are scared, and we feel that our paralegals can do everything. Our attorneys can do everything who are working for us. We want to make them work 16 hours a day, or keep them, in the office until 10 a.m. Do you know the secret at Gehi and Associates?
What is that?
Everyone leaves at 6:30. I think we don't work after that. Can you believe it?
That's
and
great.
What does
I've
an
never seen
average paralegal do? Wonderful paralegal who works for the firm. What does a wonderful attorney do? working day and night.
Mhm.
In our office today, in the past we don't have a file cabinet here. We don't have a file cabinet.
It's hard to imagine.
Everything is paperless. Secondly, the reasons our paralegals go home is after the shift ends, our foreign team members take up all the work. So at Gehi and Associates, for example, which is exactly a law firm, please do not confuse me in my role as an attorney. And as a disclaimer, with immigrationquestion.com, which is a part of my legal software, I'm the founder, I'm not the owner. Let me make that clear. So they used us to test everything out. We were the testing grounds for immigrationquestion.com. So when a client comes in over here, our attorneys are very alert. Our senior paralegals are alert. They intake the data. And after data is taken over here, then through our e-learning programs, you train foreign attorneys who are very good in different countries. Not paralegals, attorneys in foreign countries. They get the case, and through e-learning from our US attorneys, look at the role of the lawyer. He's giving them the training program. They finish up all the cases. During the night, morning time, the case comes to us. The US lawyer reviews it because we have filters. They cannot file it. And then they press a button, do the correction, and the case gets filed.
Okay. Seems pretty simple.
And but it is not as easy as you think. A lot of work went into the development of this case management software. And it's secured. We have great receptionists working for us in foreign countries. And they give them notes of what is going on. But before that, they will check your identity. That's where, again, the software comes in. Recognizes whether the client is there. And they take care of all the day-to-day nitty-gritty things. Ready for another surprise, Kaleb?
What is that?
The phones don't ring in offices.
Wow. That's impressive. I've never seen that before.
Now,
So,
they transfer the call immediately. And it's completely wireless. If someone wants to get in touch with an attorney, if needed, immediately you just press a button. It's faster than the person being in the office and transferring the call. The attorney will be right there. Even if he's on the street, he'll be able to take the call right there.
okay. I know many law firms with this, we're going to have the question, what happens if, say, a judge were to call the office?
Yes, when a judge calls, we have what do you call that pager in the office, pager system.
Okay.
There's a pager. You press a button, judge calling, all the lawyers will be on alert.
Okay.
Or at least a senior paralegal. So we've never had that problem. Tested, done it, been there.
Wow, that's impressive.
It was hard. But it's better than what I used to do in 2016. Because at that time, everyone was everywhere. The lawyer was not available. He went away. But now, even if the lawyer's on the street, we can reach him faster and we can tell the court and the lawyer will come back. We've never had a problem. And Kaleb, the firm has handled more than 20,000 cases.
Wow.
Gehi and Associates has handled more than 20,000 cases. And by God's grace, we have a clean record. I've conducted CLEs and, but I try to kind of not go out there and talk too much because with the highest respect to all my wonderful attorneys, some of our legal tech experts are really good, but some of them really don't know what they're talking. And they'll talk about this little thing and people think, oh my God, this guy knows so much about technology. No one knows everything about technology.
Of course.
So the proof is in the pudding when it comes to law of technology. And I cannot thank a lot of our immigration lawyers enough. They gave us feedbacks to develop the software. Some of these people from our network said, Nuresh and team, why don't you add this? We added those things for them. Because I have very high respect for immigration attorneys. And they are our unsung heroes.
Of course.
And the whole idea was creating it is, of course, for money. Because the founders put in a lot of money. But the bigger picture was, why don't lawyers benefit? And why doesn't the public benefit directly? Rather than those people sitting in their houses saying, I can do your paperwork. Of course, it's a new company and it's already rocking. But end of the day, the general public is going to realize the value of our unsung heroes and the lawyers who are actually doing a lot for people. Sometimes people have this bad habit. I'm talking about the public of talking bad about immigration lawyers. For me, every immigration attorney is a hero. Why? I've seen it. They work hard, but the law, immigration law itself, is extremely, extremely primitive. I mean, I can talk to you about literally every second section from the back of my head. I'm a federal lawyer. I litigate before the Second Circuit, which is not easy. I've handled a lot of federal cases in immigration. People working for me have worked for the government. People working for me have even become judges. So, in a sense, I thank every lawyer for the great job they're doing in the profession.
Of course. So does that mean that you'll take feedback for, like, if somebody joins the website and says, "Hey, I think that this might be a
The
way
people
to improve."
working, I'm the founder, I'm the consultant.
Okay.
My job is to make the software better, but there is a big team, I would say 40, 50 people, 60, 100, I don't know, 30, 40. There are people who are ready to take feedbacks over that.
Okay.
My job is that if a lawyer has a problem, can they solve it with Gehi because of a tech background? That's where I come in.
Okay.
The technical aspects. For example, a lawyer says that, Naresh, that it goes to the team. Why don't you come up with something over here? So next time when I'm in court, I want to get a reminder on map. Then my job as a tech expert is to study, which is a hard job, how that piece can be integrated in the software.
Okay.
How the solution can be formed by means of the software. And it doesn't have to be an immigration software, as I said. It can be an intellectual property software. Of course, I don't know anything about patents, but my job is to figure out how the tech aspect can be integrated with the legal part of it. Because I'm the domain expert and I have IT knowledge. So I have to work with IT team. Those are known as solutions architects. So that's why I come in more as a solutions architect.
Okay.
Which means, of course, I don't program, but I find the solution to the problem. That's my job.
Okay. And something you mentioned is that this is not just for immigration attorneys. So can anybody who practices law use this platform?
Anyone can use the platform.
Okay.
And with what you may have one or two immigration words here and there, but even that I think will not be there. So you can use it for any kind of practice if you want.
Okay. So they could use it for their own cases as well.
Yeah, that's basically known as agile technology. Agile, as you know, so you can use it anyway, any place you want and everything. That's good for anyone. Yes.
Okay. Well, it seems very exciting.
And by the way, Kaleb,
Yes.
this took more than 15 years to get where it is. It was a science. It was not something that was developed in a day. And also they have an app now. So it's all coming. But the reason things go a little slow with the app and all, because the testing is extremely rigorous here. Of course, nobody can be perfect in technology. Nobody can. But it's a slow and steady process. Now let me tell you about other softwares. They are giving you this much. And the amount of features they have is, I would say, nearly 50% less. But the good thing is, when it comes to immigrationquestion.com, if you want more features, there are premium features also. If you ask them, they'll install it for you. They'll do it for you. So it's not what you see is that's all they have. There were a lot of other features, and that's based upon need. The lawyer can order it.
Okay. And then in that same vein, I wanted to talk a little bit about how easy is the software to install? Do you need somebody to come to your office? Can you do it
No,
remotely?
not needed at all. It can be wrapped up within, I would say, hours. Training can be done within the first week, and you're all good to go.
Wow.
And by the way, the other good thing is, thanks to the team, they start sending you client queries right away, and they start giving you the social media presence. That's why it's known as a 3-in-1 case management software. So even lawyers have started cases in the first month. Wow. And the first month, I think, it's up to the company, but it may be, nowadays, I think they're offering a complimentary, but in future, they may or may not. So the thing is, the first month is free, I believe, right now.
Yes.
But in the future, it may be or not, because their terms and conditions are subject to change. And by the way, if you get a client who's paying you $5,000 or $6,000 to begin, you paid for the entire year.
Wow.
Today. And imagine you have the whole year for you, but you're going to get 120 leads. The plans may change, but I'm talking about current how it stands today.
Okay, and like you mentioned, it may or may not change, but for right now, the first 30 days are free. I know people are going to ask, what kind of leads can they expect within those first 30 days?
Well, the queries come to them. Those are random queries. You cannot screen them. Whatever's good comes to you. You do the talking because we are not involved in that. That's where the privilege comes in for the lawyer.
Yes.
You do your thing. And by the way, the little that I know, generally, most lawyers know that out of 10, generally people convert 1 or 2 or 3. And by the way, why are you paying for social media separately? Why are you paying for a software separately? Why are you paying for leads separately when you're going to those companies who just tell you, okay, I'm going to. This is a 3-in-1.
Of course. All the other services you need regardless.
This was the think tank that came together. And this is a market disruptor. This is a game changer. And it is going to be a game changer. And there are many more surprises coming, which I'm not allowed to disclose at this stage. But that is going to make a lot of rain, God willing, for lawyers. Of course, we cannot make you any promises because, as I said, we are not here to sell. We are here to make sure that seasoned lawyers use the software and new lawyers, if they want to come up. And also, as a courtesy, what I do sometimes, a lot of lawyers struggle when they have legal questions. As a courtesy, I even come and help them sometimes. Please don't count on me for that, just as a courtesy service. And when they run into a problem, if they're respectful, if they're nice, I bend backwards to help them. Because for me, at this stage in my life, it's all about respect, nothing more than that. And I cannot thank a lot of great people, a lot of these wonderful senior attorneys who are part of the network, who's given us feedbacks on the software. And we have 118 lawyers, or 118 lawyers within 6 months who joined this network.
Wow.
Because why? Because they're seeing the results. They're getting social media publicity. They're coming on the weekly show. Now there's a new show coming. And some great lawyers will be moderating those shows. They'll be talking. And because that's a reality. America loses talent. And we want lawyers to come in and the public to talk about it. And it's a very, very seasoned show that is going to play the middle ground of immigration. Because, of course, our mantra is we respect the administration. But we also believe in legal reform. At the same time, we want to make sure that America wins first. So we are here to educate the administration regarding the contribution of immigration attorneys, regarding the contribution of the public, which means the talent that we need in America. Because politicians, lawyers, everyone has one goal in mind: to make America the number one nation in the world. As a true American, I have very high respect for every administration. They are going wrong, but they can make the corrections. Because an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So for me, the administration also needs to recognize the contributions of immigrants in our nation. And they need to listen to great immigration attorneys, because they are the people who can educate them. So that this platform on the whole in future will serve as a meeting ground, not only for immigrants, not only for lawyers, but even the administration will be listening to us at least. That's my request to them.
Yes.
I can just make a request, but we don't know of what the future will stand.
Of course. Now we know what is the legal profession if not being able to convince someone of something.
And Kaleb, I think you've done a lot of studies, I believe.
Yes.
Because you are a law office technology enthusiast too. Now, why are you so interested in technology? And how do you see you're a fantastic graduate from a top law school. And how do you see the future of technology, and what would you like to tell people? And especially because I'll tell you, a lot of lawyers are scared of technology. And do you think that from your experience, I think nowadays it's not that hard. Can you tell them in your own words that how things have changed? And even a simple paralegal can learn this technology. You tried this technology out. What made you think that this was so easy to learn about the software from your perspective?
Well, I think for one, I really liked how all-encompassing the software is. I mean, like you said, for one, it's a combination of different aspects that have never been seen before in the market. And for two, like you said, there's even an app available. So, of course, this software has been one of the easiest things I've seen to be able to use. And I think that's really what drew me to
And
it.
about the portal, what did you
Yes.
like? Did you like the appointment features? Did you like the quote calendar? Did you like the mail feature? Or basically, did you like the accounting feature so that lawyers don't lose money? Did you like the notifications so lawyers don't get a lozada? They don't get the ineffective assistance of counsel issues and everything. What did you like the most about this, really?
I think really the court calendar, for one, and especially the mail. In the immigration practice, regular hard snail mail, as they say, is something that's still, even though the technology has progressed, in use today. So,
And I think you
being-
used other softwares, and this is like way ahead of the softwares that you've used, I believe.
Yes, of course. I know, like deadlines, mail, that's something that we always have to keep up. But I've never been able to see something that is so condensed into one location, you know?
And suppose like tomorrow, like, very soon you'll become an attorney.
Mhm.
And take an example, if you plan on starting a practice, how do you feel about this 3-in-1? Like, you're a new lawyer, for example, right? You want to start a practice. Wouldn't you prefer getting clients? Wouldn't you prefer having social media publicity? Wouldn't you prefer having a great case management software? Don't you think that it's a win-win for a new lawyer from your perspective after you get your license?
Oh, yes, of course. It's extremely easy to be able to just receive the leads from clients. I've never been able to see something so quick and easy, for one. I mean, you're able to show off how your knowledge to the people who are
And the
coming and
social
asking
media
questions.
publicity, which is important, because people have landed on the front page of Google here.
Yes, of course. I know.
People talk about it. Social media publicity companies talk about it, but you'll never see the proof in the pudding.
Yeah. In today's age, social media visibility is something that is necessary for an attorney's, a law firm to be able to succeed in the modern world. And this is something that has that integrated right into the same platform as you would a court calendar. And
So you think it's very
everything
good
else.
for a new lawyer who wants to start an immigration practice?
Yes.
And of course, for seasoned lawyers, we already said, because I've put in my sweat and blood into this, for seasoned attorneys to make sure. And for example, like you even have features over here for the 1-year deadline to calendar for your asylum cases. All those are things that came in from people. Why don't you have this, Mr. Gehi? So it was hard to incorporate them. And the hardest thing for me actually was to keep the software simple. And that is where my time, my pain, my effort goes into this. And I must thank the whole team, especially the people who have trusted me to develop this technology.
Yes.
Of course, it was a very expensive technology. It was not kind of something a walk in the park to be developed. Lot of hours, man hours, human hours, intelligence, everything has gotten into this.
yeah, and I know one of the most important things, especially as a new attorney, is to try and build your network. And
Right.
this is a platform that has a network built in right to it.
Of course, and you know what? And you can even chat over there and keep talking to people and to tell them you're here, and you can grow your practice.
Of course.
The whole idea is to grow your practice, and ethics was important for me. So especially when it came to the practice management software, we made sure that lawyers have more in the software, in the case management software, than what you could imagine. Of course, I cannot say like the word best is not a good word to use for any software company, but I must say that we are one of the best.
Yes, that's what I've seen at least. Okay, now I wanted to talk a little bit more about the features. What can you expect, like you said, with a court calendar? Is it going to be robust? How is that going to apply to every?
So the biggest challenge which everyone has is the court calendar. So in this, for example, you have a date coming up before the judge, and your call-up date coming up for an individual hearing. We made sure we are covered for that, because generally lawyers are showing up in court, and they forgot to basically update the country conditions report, and the judge was pissed at them. So we made sure that we cover even those nitty-gritty things. Our job is to try to find a needle from a haystack. A needle from a haystack to show that the lawyer doesn't miss anything. I think the best way for people to do that is to actually ask those questions which I'm asking, and they will be surprised. They'll say, hallelujah, never seen something like this before. And if you really take a demo, and if you're a seasoned attorney, you can ask them the questions, and the team will answer you that we have it.
Wow.
9 out of 10. There's no 100 in life, but they'll say, this is unbelievable. The first word that will come out from a good lawyer will be, this is never seen before. But please do me a favor, folks. If you're switching, please deal with your current company that you're using when you switch to get the data to us. Some of them give us a hard time, but you're our attorneys because the data is in your control. When people ask us for the data, if they ever want to leave, we tell them, please go to another carrier, and people will come back. We know that.
Of course. Now, how easy is it to be able to transfer data from one?
It
to
takes
the
time, but you can start using the portal, and you have to be in touch with the company. But there's a saying, lawyers have to tell the company, no, I'm done with you when you leave them. That's your job. And when you work with us, everything is possible. If you don't work with us, nothing is possible. So we will need your cooperation, and you have to be cool-headed. You have to be calm-headed. That's one thing, because you have intellectuals working with us. Every person in this team is very talented. They are the cream of the crop, and they'll work with you. And they're good human beings. Because our mantra is to help lawyers grow the practice. We want you to grow, but above all, access to justice should be easy, very important. And we want the public to have good licensed attorneys working with them. We don't want notorios. Notorios are people who are paralegals joining a network. They're not allowed. Absolutely no entry for notorios to join this platform. Strictly for attorneys and for public. If you're a licensed attorney, you're allowed to join. If you're not licensed, goodbye to you. Sorry to be so blunt. You're not going to be allowed to come in. Of course, you can come in if you're a professional to talk about it, but you won't have access to the software to use it. You can be an expert talking about psyche valves. That is understandable. It's benefiting lawyers. But if you're going to give legal advice, if you're a foreign attorney, the answer is no right now. We are even strict for not allowing foreign attorneys to come in and use this. You have to be licensed in the USA. If you're a foreign attorney, use it for your personal purpose abroad, but not in the United States. But even we are not even allowing that.
Okay, so every person who is on member of every attorney who is on this software,
you're not allowed to give legal advice at all, blunt, if you're not in the US. Absolutely no.
Okay, so it sounds like you take the ethics very seriously.
Of course, ethics comes first.
Okay, so finally, I guess let's ask about, is there support available if lawyers need it?
All the time.
Okay.
That's a no-brainer. And you'll see the amount of support you get. And also, if they want to have foreign attorneys, if they want to have paralegals, if they want to have receptionists, of course you have to train them. The company can help you to get good people, and you will never be dependent too much on your staff. And as I said, the day-to-day job of the lawyer goes down because he's not writing briefs. Their templates, they use your templates, they finish up the work. So your lawyer can go home at 6:30 in the evening. That is how you need to run a practice. And we'll have a full session of how to go home early by using immigrationquestion.com. That'll be our next session.
Wow.
And how to save money.
Of course.
Because you're saving a lot of money. Because what are you paying? Peanuts? And having foreign attorneys working for you? Finishing up all your legal work and your legal research. That is where we are headed.
Yes, it seems like this is something that you can't miss out on. Okay.
And thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Do you have any questions or?
No, I think that we covered everything. Is there anything that you would like to speak on before?
I would like to say that go for the 30-day free trial, and it's free. And remember one thing: Rome was not built in one day, so don't expect miracles in the first month. It may get most lawyers have seen results wherein they've been able to communicate with the public and convert them into clients on their own within 3 months. And the first 3-4 clients or two clients may pay for the entire year of the service. And the whole idea was actually to make sure that everyone wins in this game. The public, the great immigration attorney, at the same time, basically the company. It should be a win-win for everyone. That was the mantra behind it. And thank you so much for your interview.
No problem.
And I wish you the best. And I'm very impressed with your law office technology background and your knowledge. And if anyone here wants to talk about law office technology, doesn't matter if it's immigration or if there's anything that's very complicated in technology, I'd love to talk to them. And besides that, ethics is very important for a lawyer.
Mhm.
And anything you're going to do, my last words, don't go crazy over AI. Do not become crazy over artificial intelligence. Take one step at a time. You'll be getting a lot of emails stating that I'm talking to you as an attorney here. Oh, this will do the magic for you. Think about the consequences before you install it. That is my final word. Thank you, folks. I'm very much updated with AI. I know AI, but I am conservative. Because when you're a trial lawyer, I don't only do immigration trials. I've done many other trials in my life. I've done landlord tenant trials.
Wow.
I've been a successful trial attorney. So I look at everything under my microscope. Then I talk about AI. We will have AI, we have it, but we are taking one step at a time. Only when we feel that this is good, it's going to be there. Otherwise, we have the audacity to let you know we will not integrate it. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a pleasure, Kaleb. Great job.
Yes.
And we'll have some more sessions in the future.
Of
And
course.
thank you for your time.
No problem. It's been a pleasure speaking with
The
you.
pleasure is mine.